Thank you very much for giving us the space to discuss our work. It's really helpful. So the purpose of this session, the focus is World AMR Awareness Week, which is a big initiative led by the WHO, which gives us a chance every November to raise awareness about what is one of the biggest health threats we face. We've been running for the last few years as a campaign to raise awareness every November, and we're just really keen to continue improving what we're doing. Purpose of the session is to get your views and feedback, not only on some of our the content we've been using, but also our sort of wider strategy and approach. So the objectives of this part of our campaign, and I should say I'm really focusing on the public-facing digital comms campaign we do. There is other work happening in health boards and elsewhere in the system, and more on the ground activities that take place as well. I just really want to focus on the digital because we haven't got too much time. The objectives of our digital comms are firstly to increase knowledge, to improve public understanding about AMR and how important it is. And then the second one is to motivate action. So really encouraging people to take up those preventative behaviours. So yeah, 3 would be only take antibiotics when told to by the relevant healthcare professional or prescriber. Secondly, always take them exactly as prescribed. And third, related to Jan's point about hoarding, never save them for later or give them to someone else. So firstly, I just wanted to share 3 examples of our digital content which aim to explain AMR to the general public and also to promote some of those behaviours. So I'm hoping the sound works on these videos, but just feel free to let me know if it doesn't work or if the video's not showing.
You're working?
So that was just an example of a really basic informational social media graphic to explain what antibiotic resistance is and the main thing you can do to prevent it. I'll move on to my next one, if it lets me. Yep. So for last year's campaign, we employed Nigel Owens, the fabulous rugby referee, who also, of course, owns a farm and is involved in that on that sort of animal health side of things, to make a bit of content with us. So this was really using the sort of paid influencer approach, which many brands and organisations are using at the moment. So this is the video of Nigel Owens explaining AMR and why we need to show it the red card.
We need to show antibiotic resistance the red card. According to the World Health Organization, antimicrobial resistance is one of the top 10 global health threats, and 1 person dies every 6 seconds as a result of antimicrobial resistance across the world. If we take antibiotics when we don't need them, we're giving the bacteria a chance to develop resistance, weakening our defenses, which in turn will mean antibiotics may not work for us in the future, meaning infections that are easy to treat today could lead to serious illness, hospitalization, or even death. Antimicrobial resistance can be passed from person to person and at times transferred between animals, because antibiotics are also used to keep our animals healthy on farms, just like this one here, my farm in South Wales. But there are simple things we must do to tackle it. Only use antibiotics when prescribed to you by a health professional, never sharing them with friends, family, or pets. and always offload them safely, keeping them out of the reach of others, and never bin or flush them away, as this can contaminate our rivers, threatening our health and the health of animals. Let's work together as a team so we can kick antibiotic resistance into touch.
And then the third example I wanted to show you, the third and final example, is a little bit more organic in style, and the sort of unpaid influencer approach. But we had the opportunity to work with a medical student and also a former Miss Wales, Millie May Adams, who's got a real interest in public health generally and AMR in particular, and was keen to do a video for us. So I'll show you this as well, and then we can get into the discussion.
Did you know that every 6 seconds someone dies from an infection that antibiotics can't cure anymore? Antibiotic resistance is becoming a serious threat to all of us. If we don't act now, it could mean that things we rely on, like surgeries, chemotherapy, and even basic treatments, might not be possible in the future. As a medic, this worries me. But here are 3 things you can do to help. 1. Only take antibiotics if your doctor prescribes them. Taking them just because you feel sick is never a good idea. 2. Never keep leftover antibiotics or share them with anyone else. I know it sounds helpful, but it actually makes things worse. And 3. Return any unused antibiotics to your local pharmacy. The pharmacy knows how to dispose of them safely. By doing these 3 things, we are all helping to make sure antibiotics keep working when we need them.
So I should say these are just 3 examples of the content we've produced. We've also answered a lot of other questions, or questions other than what is AMR, using that kind of basic informational explanatory graphics. And we've also used some other influencer content in the past, including ones featuring TikTok dances. So yeah, we do cover off other key messages, but I think this gives a flavor of the approach we're using in our campaign. So up until now, we've really focused on the basic channels you'd expect. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we've been using TikTok, where we've got content that's appropriate. We've got a campaign which outlines all the key messages on AMR, but also has a number of frequently asked questions and links to resources. But one of the key things about our campaign is that one of our key objectives is to mobilize health boards, local authorities, third sector organizations, community groups to really share the content on their channels, to pick up the key messages and share their own content, so that the idea is that it snowballs and it creates a kind of public conversation about AMR, really over the month of November, but particularly in the awareness week itself. So that brings us on to the questions I wanted to discuss. I wonder whether it might be best if I read through these questions and then we have a general discussion rather than going through one to 5, just at the risk of not getting to 5. But what we really want to find out is, what do you like about the content? Are there any messages that resonate particularly with you? Obviously, we haven't shown all of our content, but are there other key messages you think should be in there that you think are most important? What do you not like so much? How could the content be made clearer, more engaging, and actually more accessible as well? Would the campaign content motivate you personally to take action on AMR? Or do you think other styles of content, other approaches would be more persuasive? Are there any other channels you can think of that might work particularly well? For example, using Facebook groups or WhatsApp Messenger, or is there anything we're missing on that? And then finally, it'd be really interesting to know who you think the digital campaign will reach effectively, and also who it might miss. Obviously, especially colleagues in the health boards are doing more on the ground engagement with people, and having more face-to-face contact. And there are other activities going on, and this is a digital campaign, but really keen to know, where we're missing opportunities to interact with people we need to.